on the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And I'll bet right now there's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no, 2 touchdown passes last week. 2
touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Connor able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. A check on the numbers last week for Connor. 13 carries, 58 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking deep for Hilton. And that's caught inside the 30. They'll get 34 yards there.
Here we go. Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Keep putting that ball on the ground.
Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Here we go. What do you need? It's a party now. It's a party now.
After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for Detroit. 61 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on from the other side of the field now. It's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On 1st and goal, Gurley. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. He was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he could really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game.
Another try on 2nd down with Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage...
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with touchdown number 8 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Garoppolo's pass complete to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Touchdown.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, a Detroit touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you
pressure and down goes Dalton on the sack. Fletcher Cox busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Dalton. That's complete to his running back, Connor. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Let's go. Strong right, strong right, strong right.
Dalton here from the gun. And he's got his man, Hilton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10, finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. They'll run on 1st down. It's Connor. Josh Jones in on the stop. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? From the 39, Dalton. He finds Taylor, complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up third and 4.
To throw here, Dalton. Screen pass to Connor. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's fourth. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
For the field goal, a 52-yard
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was a crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
4 yards on the dump off at second down. Play action, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Quentin Williams busting through to get him for a loss of 6. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on third and long? Garoppolo. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Dalton hovering near the goal line. And he goes down. Dalton couldn't get rid of it, and that will be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. This is fielded inside the 5.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Garoppolo to try again on second down. And this one's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Screen play, Johnson. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They start with a give to Connor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Dalton, 1st and 10, and he finds Tyler Croft. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From midfield here, Dalton. He'll find Taylor, that's complete. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Andy Dalton now 8 of 8 throwing the ball in this 1st quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now Connor. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Dalton complete to Hilton. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. 3rd down from the gun, Dalton to Connor on the check down. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Dalton now to pass. He'll get that one complete to Connor. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. After one, it's 9-0. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Now Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. On now is the Packers punter. Back deep is Trevor Davis. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, Second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go. 120! 56! Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen! Set up!
A nice pickup on first down, 7 yards.
Here we go. 180!
It's a gain of 7.
Mike 51!
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Garoppolo. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here we go with a player spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. A gain of 6 there on first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now a draw play. This is Connor. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's the Wisconsin native and former Badger, J.J. Watt. He continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And now a big play to start off this drive as the shot downfield is complete. He got 29 yards that time.
A gain of 29 yards. First down, Detroit.
Garoppolo, 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. On the counter, Gurley. And he works free. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Here we go. 180! Watch the run! Watch the run! Watch the run!
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Dumps it off to Gurley. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. The Lions on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third and goal. Now Garoppolo. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
No surprise there, third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Garoppolo's pass complete to number 89, Tyler Higbee. Touchdown, Detroit.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's got it to Hilton. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Mike
is 59. Mike is 59. It's our time.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And the grab by Croft. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll make this a second down.
Brings up second and 4.
On the draw, Connor. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Watch the back. Check the back. Check the back.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
You got it. You got it.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
On now is the Packers punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. An early lead in that game for the Falcons. Nick Foles, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. Gurley's got the first down and then some. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Gurley. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up. The Lions on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
And right now these guys are shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Coming to you.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Dalton here from the gun. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Dalton. He'll dump this one off to Connor. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And that's complete to Croft. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the kick by Butker is good. And they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. And connecting here with DJ Shark. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go.
Garoppolo now, 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. That one complete. He finds Shark. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Garoppolo again. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 39. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So good work there to get points just before the half as they add on to their lead.
As trite as it sounds, Every little bit helps. That's exactly what they're going for. Anytime you get a chance to put points on the board, you take it.
And they didn't leave the other side with much time at all on the clock. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were losers in their ball game to the visiting Dallas Cowboys. A 3-touchdown differential in the end, 35-14, the final. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. Kenny Stills, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Again, they run with Gurley. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On play action, now Garoppolo. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit. I'm falling back on my playing days. If I had a receiver that was 3 inches taller than me and they couldn't complete a pass like that, my confidence really rose at that point. I probably said a few things to him to that effect.
Well, I just looked down. You're right. It's a 3-inch height difference. But, you know, these defensive backs, they can jump so high. That's not that big of a difference now in the NFL, is it?
Athleticism and timing can make up for that lack of 3 inches.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zach Brown making his presence felt in the backfield.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. So Dalton now throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. James Conner, the running back, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. That's complete to his running back, Conner. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And Detroit getting set to go now. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Looking to throw, Garoppolo, and able to find Dorsett. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Garoppolo, and they'll set up the screen to Gurley. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They go to Johnson again. Kendall Fuller in on the stop. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here we go. 180! He can't hang. He's not that hot.
11 yards there and a Lion first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They go play action here on first down. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Got an open man, that's C.J. Uzomah. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. On first down, it's Gurley. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 15 yards on the play, first down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Garoppolo now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. Going to flare this one out to Gurley in the flat. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And the return will stop right around the 25.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your play? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far.
Sullivan's pass intended for James Conner.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Black 80!
A gain on the play.
51.
First down,
Watch the
Detroit.
curl. Watch the curl.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee.
Here we go.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a quick throw out wide to Dorsett. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Yeah, that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Checking things elsewhere, 3rd quarter now from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Andrew Luck. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. Well, one of the few things that's gone right for them. Likely a little too late, but maybe a little feather in their cap.
I think so, and to me, they played that play without looking at the scoreboard, without worrying about where they were in the score, because things haven't gone right, as you noted, for them much of this game. But they gave great effort there and picked up a defense that's had its share of troubles in this one.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. With the score, Lions 26, Packers 3.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. On the draw, Conner. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the 4th quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw again. Dalton, screen pass to Conner. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd down and 12. Passing, it's Dalton. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try on 4th. Here's Dalton. He's going to go up top for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Lions will take over. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They'd love to hold on to that, but first things first, they want to clinch that division.
Well, let's go back to the conversation we had with the coaching staff, and you asked that very question about how important is it really? You've got a good team. Can't you win from any spot in the play? Looked at us like we were crazy, right? You can do it from a lower seed, but no one really wants to try it. Higher seed, much better for them. They want to clinch this division.
Definitely don't want to slip to 5 or 6 and go on the road in that first playoff game. 16 yards, a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10.
Check, crunch.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
56. Check, 56. Let's go, D.
Dorsett making the catch. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Here we go. 180. Yo.
Dorsett's got it. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Back to the ground game here. Gurley. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Now it's Gurley. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Garoppolo now. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Here we go.
This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a gain of 5, but they do keep him out of the end zone, and now it's 4th down. All right, ball at the 1-yard line, 4th down. What do you say?
I say go, because if you can't get 1 yard, what's the old adage? If I can't get 1 yard, I don't deserve to win anyway. tell your team it's that time. Who's going to get down into trenches, grind it out, and make sure that ball gets in the end zone? Who's it going to be? Let's go do it.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will make the lead now 26. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
That factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up there.
Yards there and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A good 1st down call as the screenplay gets him 9. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing, Dalton to Connor on the check down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Connor on 1st down going nowhere as he's going to be stacked up behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense, and this home crowd, they're growing a little restless here in the 2nd half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. A 1st down carry. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
On 2nd down, it's Connor. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Here's Dalton. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Downfield offense.
Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. The Packers on 3rd down. They're hitting it just 30%, 3 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. On third down, it's Counter. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. And this a 39-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the time they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Here we go.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Garoppolo looking to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. 3rd down here. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Detroit, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.